Okay, it's only been, days since the state attorney general released the reports that Andrew Cuomo allegedly sexually assaulted multiple women. And now Cuomo has officially resigned as governor of New York. Let's take a look.
I think that given the circumstances, the best way I can help now is if I step aside and let government get back to governing. And therefore, that's what I'll do. Because I work for you. And doing the right thing is doing the right thing for you.
During his resignation speech, he spoke to his three daughters and stated the following: from the bottom of my heart, I never did and never would intentionally disrespect a woman, treat any woman differently than I would want them treated. And that is the God's honest truth. What are your thoughts on his resignation?
It's sad because personally, I like him a lot, right? Personally, that aside, I think it was the right thing to do. They did the investigation, and the investigation found what it found, that he was making people feel uncomfortable down in their Tootsie Cat. And, you distracting. This is a huge distraction. One thing I do want to point out is Anna Navarro. She is one of the most, I love her. She posted on her social media, she was like, this is how our leaders are supposed to act. Biden called Cuomo, Pelosi called Cuomo, she named some other people, and they told him to step down, step aside, and that's what he did. The Republicans can take a page out of their book referencing, Donald Trump and all of his indiscretions, but I think he did the right thing under the circumstances.
Al, what do you think?
I think it was necessary, and just the style and grace that he exercised, I thought was really cool. He needed to go ahead and let this sex pest allegations and how they were starting to paint that broader picture of him. I love the way he nipped it in the bud, because remember, in the impeachment notes, they were going after him not just for sexual harassment, but they were also going after him for misappropriation of public funds or resources. They were going after him for allowing certain people having access to the COVID-19 test before the general public. They were also going after him on some allegations that he didn't pay attention to some nursing homes where a number of elderly people had passed due to him not giving them the prompt attention that they needed. So I was glad that he got in front of all of this, dragging him through that mess. But let this be a warning for everyone. This man went from an international hero to now an out-of-work civil servant. And at one time when he was revered for everything that he did with COVID, the mayor, de Blasio, turned his back on him. Schumer, the senator, turned his back on him. And when Biden turned his back on him, he really put a nail in the coffin on that. So I'm really glad that he stood up to this. And I think he's going to be okay. Remember, he got that $5 million advance for his book, and he still has $2.5 million to get from that advance. So good luck, Cuomo. And thank you for being an example of how we all should be when faced with adversity.
What I'm worried about is the weaponization of sexual harassment claims. And where's the due process? Yeah, there was an investigation that says they were credible, but that's the beginning of a case. You know what I mean? That's the beginning. We're not there yet. He's not convicted of anything yet. And yeah, it looks bad and I get it, but I just feel like we're at a point now where if me and 5 of my friends want to come for someone and say, listen, we're all on the same page, he did X, Y, and Z, we can easily do that. And where is the due process? We don't have that anymore because you're already done in the court of public appeal first, and then it's a wrap. Now, of course, I'm biased because I like Cuomo. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I like him, and I understand how the Trump people defend their guy. But unlike unlike Cuomo, Trump had 17 legitimate cases. I know one of the girls, Temple Taggart, was Miss Utah when I was in Miss USA. This girl was a Mormon, a virgin at the time. This girl was not out there. She wasn't, in the streets. She was a sweetheart and a great girl. She was flown out to New York, and he kissed this young lady on her mouth, uninvited. And like, I'm not hearing a lot of, I'm hearing the severity of Trump stuff. And I'm like, where was the energy? Yep. Even from the Democrats, like, we're mad, but we're so quick to correct our own, which is good and admirable. But I'm just sick of the Republicans getting away with 10 times worse. And it pisses me off. It really does.
Yeah,
Well, I think
I was having a conversation last night about the Democrats, you know, being the bigger person and taking the moral high ground. And, you know, I never thought I would get to a point where I think that we need to start playing the same game that they play and wallow in the mud a little bit.
Right.
right. I feel like, you know, he did the less of two evils. He wants to continue in public service. So the only way, remember, if he gets impeached, he can't ever do public service, state, local, federal again. So I think he got ahead of this. He bowed out gracefully, only for a re-entry, and I can't wait to see what that re-entry looks like.
Before
Well,
we go on to the next,
where does a disgraced governor work?
I don't know. That's a good question.
The post office? I mean, like, he gonna go down to the post office, or
He'll probably go to like a think tank or something. He'll do policy. He'll help people with, you know, legislative. He could be, what do you call it? On the Hill, a lobbyist. He'll probably do something like that. He's got to be able to use those strong connections that he has. Remember, he has more than just domestic connection. He has also international connections. Sorry, Claudia.
let's ask this. Let me ask you this. So as an impeached governor, he can't perform, he can't work a civil, he can't be elected again, right? But why is it so, but Trump he can run again, although he's twice impeached. So it's different with the president?
I'm assuming, I mean, I'm just reading from the articles about the impeachment and one of the reasons why he chose to exit now.
I would think that an impeached president twice would carry more weight than a governor that was impeached. You know what I'm saying? Twice. Okay, we're gonna move on. We will miss you, Cuomo. And I know that's gotta be so tough for Chris Cuomo covering. That family got so much love for each other. I used to love their moments on CNN. All right, I'm gonna take my emotion out of it, but I'm not really buying all these. I'm not buying all the charges. I'm really not. Be mad at me if y'all want to, accusers.
I agree.